Okay, I'm going to try to do a similar patch on the other side, but I'm going to just do one at a time. I think I might have got that warpage last time because I did two right side by side, and when I heated the metal up it kind of warped a little in the middle. So this time I'm just going to do one and do one. This one is a little more tricky. We got rust separating this piece of metal as it goes around the edge of the fender. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is cut it here, down here, leave me enough to weld to, come up here and go past these little bubble holes and take them out. Put me a new piece in, pull this up and weld it tight. Fill this up with that rust protectant stuff, and then just body fill the rest of this with that epoxy putty. I think that might be about as close as I can get to making that right. I could come closer to this line, but the closer I come to that line, the harder it is and the less I have to weld to without taking the, if I took the fender completely off, I could wrap it, which I could do, but I don't really want to do. And I could always come back later and put a wraparound patch on that if I need to when I do take the fender off. But for now, I'm thinking about a car show weekend after next, and kind of like to put a patch on here that would sort of stabilize things and keep it all together. And then later on, if I want to get more, if I want to do some deeper surgery later on, I can. So I think I'm going to cut that hole, make my patch, poke it in there, and then we'll see where we go after that. Alright, that's the spot where the rust hole used to be. Now I've taken some of this rust treatment and coated that. And while it's drying, I'm going to cut the piece that I'm going to replace it with. I'm using the old piece as a pattern. That's the old piece right there. I'll just get me a pencil and mark around the edges and take my grinding wheel and cut that out. Put that piece right back where that old piece was, and then we'll monkey it up like we did this other side once I get it welded in there. I'll show you this other side because I went and got me a flapping wheel to work that bottom piece with. This top piece up here looks pretty good. It ain't perfect, but it's pretty good. This one's still got that rough putty around the edges. It's awful hard to sand on that, and especially where you kind of have to bend over to get to it. So I went to town and got me it's called a flap wheel. It's basically kind of like a sanding wheel. It has little pieces of sandpaper in layers. I'm going to use that to work that other piece smooth, and then probably do some finishing sanding after that. So the first thing I'll do is cut that piece.